In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can download the project files from GitHub and open them in Android Studio. Hello and welcome to Learn with Tam. I am Tariq Ali Mirza and my goal is to make you a kick-ass Android developer. In the previous video, I showed you how you can create a simple click counter app in Android Studio. That video was only for beginners. So, if you are a beginner, make sure to watch that video. In the comments of that video, Afzal suggested that I should share the project files via GitHub. So, I did exactly what Afzal asked me to do. From now onwards, I'll be sharing all the project files via GitHub so that you can access them instantly. At this point, if you are familiar with Git and GitHub, then you can download the project files using the link in the description and then proceed to chapter number 6 of this video. For the rest of you, I am going to show you the exact steps involved in downloading the project files from GitHub and running them on your system. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. To follow along, open Google Chrome. Now type you will find the link in the description. On the repository page, you will find a README section in which you can read about the series that you are watching right now. On the same page, you will find a green button with code written on it. Click on that button and click on Download Zip. Wait for the download to finish and then click on the arrow next to the downloaded file. Now select Show in Folder. Now you can right-click on the file and select Extract All. From here you can select the folder in which you want the files to be extracted. I will leave it at default and click on Extract. Once you have extracted the file, you can proceed to chapter number 6. And for those who are interested in learning how you can use Git to do the same steps, I am going to now show how to install Git on your system. So I'll close all these windows, open a new tab and type git-scm.com and press enter. On this website, click on the button that says Download 2.29.2 for Windows. You might see a different version number right here, but that does not matter. The steps will remain the same. Click on that button. Now wait for the download to complete. When the setup file is downloaded, click on it to run it. Click Yes on the User Account Control dialog box that appears. Click on Next. Leave everything to default and click on Next again. Make sure to select all these options and click on Next. Leave these settings to default and click on Next again. Here you can select whichever editor you prefer to edit your files with. I am going to select Nano. Now click on Next. Click on the option to override and make sure main is written here and click on Next. Make sure to select the recommended option and click on Next again. Leave it to OpenSSL and click on Next again. Leave it to check out Windows style and click on Next again. Leave this option to default and click on Next. Leave this option to default as well and click on Next again. Make sure that you have Git Credential Manager Core selected and click on Next again. Enable File System Caching and click on Next. I don't need the experimental support, so I will leave this option unchecked and click on Install. Now wait for the installation to complete. Now you can click on Finish. Now create a new folder on your desktop or wherever you prefer. I'll create it on my desktop. I will name it Android Files. Now right click on this new folder and select Git Bash here. In order to clone a repository using Git, you need to get its URL. So open the repository and click on the button code, and then instead of clicking on download zip, we are going to make sure that HTTPS is selected and then click on this copy button next to it. Now the link has been copied to our clipboard. Now we'll come back to Git. Now I will type git clone and then I have to provide the URL of the repository. In this case, I will press Shift and Insert because the URL was already copied by me. You should not use Ctrl V in this window. You can either use Shift plus Insert to paste the URL, or you can right click and select Paste, which is again Shift plus Insert. Now click on Enter. As you can see, it started cloning the repository and finished cloning it pretty quickly because my internet connection is pretty good. Yours might take several minutes. Also, since we are early on in this series, I have just 2 project files within this repository. Later on, there might be 50, 60 or maybe hundreds of files within the same repository. So, depending upon that, it might take longer. Now that we have downloaded the project files using both the download method as well as the cloning method, we can open it using Android Studio. So let me close all these windows. Now I'll open Android Studio. To open a project from the file that you have just downloaded, click on Open an existing project. Now navigate to the path of the files. Here you can see I have 2 projects within my folder. I will select the project from the previous lesson and click on OK. Once the project has loaded, you can open the main activity file as well as the layout file using the project window. Click on the drop-down next to App, then click on the drop-down next to Java. Then click on the first drop-down and select Main Activity. Double-click on it. This is your main activity file. To navigate to the layout file, click on the drop-down icon next to Res. Then click on the drop-down icon next to Layout. Now double-click on the activity_main.xml file to open it. And here we have the layout. As you can see, we have both the main activity file as well as the layout file open. If you wish to run this project on your system, make sure to select the Android virtual device from this menu and then click on Play button. Wait for the virtual device to start up and then install this application and then launch the activity. Once the activity launches, you can test the application by clicking on the Click Me button. When I click on it once, the number changes by 1. When I click again, it changes again. I click on it multiple times, it changes multiple times. So, our application is working. Now, whether you are a beginner or an advanced user, you know how to download project files from GitHub and test them on your system. That's all for today's video. As always, feel free to share your valuable thoughts and feedback via the comment section. If you like the video, smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive timely updates of all the future uploads. I'll see you in the next one.